Hello everyone, this is Foodie Boy, following on from Nagoya, Okinawa, and Sendai. This time, on trip to Fukuoka. I'd like to recommend restaurants around Fukuoka. If you are going to Fukuoka, you really must watch this video. When you think of Fukuoka, you may only have an image of tonkatsu, pork bone, ramen, or a bite of gyoza. I'm sure there are people who only have an image of B-class gourmet. Actually, that's not all. In fact, there are many high-class sushi restaurants in Fukuoka. It's a gastronomic paradise. This time, it's very expensive, but it's worth the trip. Worth the trip to Fukuoka just for this. From the best restaurants. I would like to introduce a wide range of restaurants. Even if you have a limited budget, please take a look until the end. You won't be disappointed. Before we get into the content of the video, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, or if you'd like to support this channel, subscribe to the channel, and please give us a high rating. Now let me introduce you to the restaurants. The first one is Teru Sushi. I think some of you may recognize this one just by looking at the thumbnail. For those of you who don't know it, let me introduce it briefly. Teru Sushi is a world-famous sushi restaurant that sells high-impact and attractive sushi. I've heard that it's even been featured in the New York Times. It is said to be so famous that it has the most followers on Instagram among Japanese chefs. By the way, this is a super high-end restaurant with a budget of 40,000 to 50,000 yen per person. I'm sure you're wondering if it's actually worth it. I have come to the conclusion that it is. In fact, I think it's worth a trip to Fukuoka just to go here. There are 3 reasons why I think so. The first reason is not only because they are huge, but also because they use the finest ingredients. For example, this Q is 25 kilograms of Q, and it is fatty and has been aged for 2 weeks. The thick eel here is made from wild-caught eels. This bonito is like a big fatty tuna, with less acidity and iron. The toro sea urchin and caviar rolls come out of nowhere. The second reason is that I thought it was innovative and new. For example, the dish of sliced dried mullet roe with bonito, which is like a trifle, is a perfect combination of these 2 strong ingredients. I was surprised to find that the 2 were so compatible without clashing. I was also surprised at the combination of blue crab and salmon roe, which was a surprisingly tasty bomb. And then there is this very famous eel burger. The natural eel was grilled to a crisp on both sides and wrapped in the finest nori seaweed. I've also posted a video of the recipe for the eel burger in the past, so if you'd like to see it, please take a look at the summary. I think I gave it a score of about 70 compared to TERUZUSHI's. The third and final reason is not only the delicious food, but also the fun and entertainment aspect of the performance, which has become world famous for the look and the handing over of the sushi. It was a pure pleasure to watch this performance every time. It's also nice to see a performance of cooking with a knife like a Japanese sword. And they always give everyone a chance to be photographed, which is also a nice touch. The owner said that he was selling an experience, not a meal, and I can see why, with the souvenirs and other items. The total price was 30,000 yen plus tax and service charge for 11 snacks, 13 pieces of nigiri, and 2 desserts. I know some of you may think it's incredibly expensive for one meal, but it will be a memory that will last a lifetime. I would like to post another video introducing all the dishes on the menu. If you want to know more about Teru Sushi, please subscribe to our channel and wait for the video to come out. The second restaurant is Tempura Takeuchi. What kind of restaurant is Tempura Takeuchi? They fry the ingredients one by one and serve them over the counter. It's what you'd expect from a high-end tempura restaurant. The restaurant has a score of 4.0 on the Tabelog and is ranked 14th in the tempura category in Japan. What's great about this restaurant is that it's very cost-effective. Specifically, there are 3 types of menus for both lunch and dinner: 5,000 yen, 7,000 yen, and 9,000 yen. The higher the price, the more a la carte dishes such as sashimi and sushi are served. The cheapest course, 5,000 yen, is exactly the same. I went there for lunch, so I decided to have the 5,000 yen course for the evening. but I was still very satisfied with the quantity of food. I was told that the 5,000 yen course includes only tempura, but I was surprised in a good way when I was served chawanmushi with salmon roe and albacore. I was rather surprised in a good way. I thought that you have to be very hungry to finish the course for more than 7,000 yen. As for the quality of the tempura, which is the most important thing, it is also the best. The batter is thin and crispy, and the ingredients inside are moist and moist. Thanks to this feature, the flavor of the ingredients can be felt very well. The tempura is made by deep frying the scales of the sea bream, and while the scales are crunchy, the meat is moist and you can feel the delicious flavor when you eat it. Reservations can be made by phone. Reservations are relatively easy to get, probably due to the location. I called about 2 weeks in advance and was lucky to get a reservation. It takes about 30 minutes from the Hakata station area. It's a little bit inaccessible, but I think it's definitely worth the trip even if it's a little bit far from Hakata station. So whether you are going to Hakata or live in Hakata but have never been there before, I highly recommend this place. I think it will be worth your while. The third restaurant is Khaos. What kind of restaurant is Khaos? It is a modern Chinese restaurant that is rapidly gaining popularity among those in the know and offers the best value for money with a small variety of dishes. The night menu is only 8,000 yen course, and there are about 11 dishes in total, including some high-quality ingredients. The price is 8,000 yen, so I think it's a great deal. As the name of the restaurant suggests, the theme is chaos, and although based on Chinese cuisine, the restaurant makes full use of ingredients and techniques from Japanese, French, Italian, ethnic, and other cuisines. Shark's fin baked in a shark's fin. Shark's fin is sautéed and topped with snow crab roe and starchy sauce. Usually, shark's fin is stewed in its original shape, but sautéing it gives it a savory flavor that makes it extremely tasty. Personally, I think I like it better than the simmered shark's fin. I love the abalone spring rolls as well. The texture was so nice and crispy, and the abalone was so tender. The abalone is in the crispy spring rolls, and then there is a thick liver sauce, so you get a mix of different textures, and the liver sauce inside makes it very rich and flavorful. It's a great snack to go with alcohol. This fried rice also has a rich flavor and goes great with sake even though it's the last dish. It was a luxurious taste with a lot of ingredients such as shrimps and mushrooms. Overall, I had the impression that this restaurant is a must for drinkers. I was lucky enough to call a few days in advance and was able to make a reservation, but I heard that the restaurant is becoming more and more popular, so it may be very difficult to get a reservation in the future. I was lucky enough to be able to make a reservation by calling a few days in advance. If you live in Fukuoka or are planning to visit Fukuoka in the near future, please visit this restaurant. The fourth restaurant is Matsune Yamaku. Here we finally introduce you to a restaurant that is very Hakata. This is a popular restaurant that is famous among locals and tourists alike. The interior of this restaurant is very stylish, and even for a date night, it has an upscale feel to it. The good thing about this restaurant is that the soup is extremely delicious. The soup is a creamy, thick miso-based soup with a punch of garlic. I was also surprised at the fact that the fish are plump and have no smell, and the oil is not at all greasy. I think this is probably because they buy fresh and carefully processed tsukemono. I would recommend this restaurant to people who want to eat Hakata-style food and are on a budget and can't go to a fancy restaurant, as it's more budget-friendly. Reservations can be made for irregular hours even a few days in advance. However, if you don't make a reservation well in advance, the rooms will be booked up in no time at all. The fifth restaurant is Kibbon. This is a very long-established stall where you can enjoy tempura and a glass of white wine, and they serve not only tempura but also udon and grilled fish. The tempura is even more reasonably priced than at the second place Takeuchi. The quality of the ingredients and the way they are fried is so good that it is hard to believe that it is from a yatai. It's 1,600 yen for a lot of assorted tempura, so it's great. If you want to go to a yatai in Nakasu, this is the place to go first. 6th restaurant is Kamakiri Udon, which is a rare udon shop in Hakata with firm texture and not too sweet broth. I think there are many udon shops in Hakata that sell soft noodles. This is a popular restaurant that has been selected as one of the 100 best restaurants on the Tabelog for 3 consecutive years, and has also been selected for the Michelin plate. It gets very crowded during lunchtime. The cold broth and the citrus aroma give it a very refreshing taste. Also, a small beer is included with lunch as a free service. I ordered the Unzen ham cutlet, which is a coarsely ground, minced ham with a lot of fat and is very juicy. It's a thick slice of ham cutlet, so it is delicious. Hakata is usually known for its rich food, but if your stomach is tired and you feel like having a light lunch, this is the place to go. The 7th restaurant is Kawaii. This restaurant is famous for its yakitori, grilled chicken skin. It has been selected as one of the top 100 restaurants in the Tabelog and is very popular, so reservations are a must. When you enter the restaurant, you will immediately see a huge pile of skins. Some of the customers around the restaurant ordered about 10 pieces of skin at a time, which is probably due to the fact that it is a specialty. The grilled skin is slightly sweet, and the outside is crispy, and the inside is juicy from the fat of the skin. It's very addictive and makes your beer go down the drain. The other dishes on the menu are also quite tasty, but if you are visiting on vacation, I recommend that you go there on the assumption that you will only eat the famous skin. The 8th restaurant is Unzen. This is a famous food stall in Tenjin. What I recommend here is the tonkatsu ramen at the end of the meal. The pork bone broth and sesame flavors are very tasty. The soup has a flavor that makes you want to drink it in gulps. If you find a restaurant you would like to visit, please give it a high rating. If you would like to support this channel and watch future videos, please subscribe to the channel and keep an eye on our future activities. If you have any requests or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. See you soon.